Hey there, quirky people. I'm your host, Anna, and today we'd be looking at how the Captain Marvel sequel is improving her character big time. The first film went on to make over $1 billion for Disney simply because it led us directly into Avengers Endgame.
Where's Fury?
But the fans had many complaints from the movie and its lead. Captain Marvel was introduced as the strongest MCU character in her film. That should have been a good thing. In fact, we also love the action involving Captain Marvel in the final battle of her film. But after that, her strength kind of became a problem for her fans. I mean, don't take me wrong. I agree that Captain Marvel was used perfectly in Avengers Endgame. She was brought in when the Avengers almost lost, and she totally turned the tide against Thanos. Then she almost took him down single-handedly, but Thanos still proved to be stronger. This was just the perfect way to handle Captain Marvel. But the first movie failed to do so because of two reasons. Number one, the boss villain was too weak for her. Jude Law's Jan Rogue only had a mental hold on Captain Marvel, but besides manipulating her, he was no match for her physical strength. And the result of that was Captain Marvel beating him in an instant.
You can beat me without a...
There was no memorable final fight, and Jan Rogue was just asked to go back to his home world. Captain Marvel did not struggle against him at all. And that brings me to my second point. Carol Danvers rarely struggled with anything in the film. Even before she got her powers, she was portrayed to be the strong character who was able to come out of every situation with ease. Every time she was knocked down during her Air Force training days, or even when she was a kid, she just got back up and completed the task instantly. I mean, sure, a hero should have the will to get back up and fight every time. But we also need to see his or her struggle to relate with him or her. Carol Danvers in the first film was a character that many fans couldn't relate to. In the real world, nobody is as strong as this superhuman. Nobody is as perfect and unbeatable as Captain Marvel, who practically has no weaknesses. But now in the Marvels, her character is being improved. There are multiple ways in which Marvel is upgrading Captain Marvel, and one way is through nerfing her powers. After the first film, Marvel really needed to make Carol vulnerable in the sequel, and they've done exactly that. Initial rumors suggest that we might see the mutant Rogue in Captain Marvel too. Rogue is a popular antagonist of Captain Marvel in the comics, and she has the ability to absorb the powers of some heroes. So by absorbing Captain Marvel's powers, she would have become stronger, while Carol would have become weaker. This way, we would have seen Carol struggle against Rogue before finally being able to defeat her. And with this victory, more fans would have related to her and rejoiced in her win. But apparently, Marvel is not taking this route. Instead, they have found a pretty cool way to nerf her powers without taking them away. And that is through the entanglement of her abilities with Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau. Because Carol swaps places with the other heroes as soon as she uses her powers, the usage of these abilities will become very less. So, we will get to see Carol struggle without having access to her full set of powers. Instead, she will have to rely on her tactical genius and just her super strength to take down Dar-Ben. And that's how her character will become more interesting for the fans. Even the villain won't seem so powerless against her this time. So that's another plus. Besides this, the second reason Captain Marvel becomes better in the Marvels is because she learns to work in a team.
We're a team?
Oh, no, we're not a team.
We're not a team.
For the last 30 years, we've seen or heard of Captain Marvel working alone. She is so powerful that she didn't need to team up with any heroes. She usually just gets into battles involving Goose as her sidekick, and that's about it. Even in Avengers Endgame, she almost went after Thanos all alone in the beginning. Cap and Natasha literally had to stop her. Yes, she did have that female Avengers team-up moment, but it was very brief and Carol was at her full strength. Here in the Marvels, she can't use her full set of abilities, so she will need to trust others and depend upon them in order to complete the mission. She'd have to put her differences with Monica aside and work with her. And as we saw in the trailer, she'd do exactly that, because even with the weakness of entanglement, the three heroes do learn to work in sync. That's how they'd manage to defeat Dar-Ben and get their abilities untangled. Carol's experience of working as a team would also come in handy when she leads the Avengers against the Kang Dynasty. Now the next way her character gets improved is that she wears the classic suit. So far, we've seen Carol wear multiple suits in the MCU. Some have been pretty comic accurate, while others have been new creations for the MCU. But towards the final battle of the Marvels, Carol will wear a suit that gives a special nod to Marvel from the books. Remember how this Captain Marvel from the books was gender swapped in the first film? Well, now we'd see Carol make another reference to Marvel from the books as she wears a suit sporting his colors. Okay, so that was every way Captain Marvel is being improved for the sequel. Did you spot any others? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one.